It's all about the fabric of life today. The self-portraits reveal colourful textiles, dressing gowns, and one artist who describes her coat as her armour against the world.
So, let battle commence. It's Portrait Artist of the Year.
Our artists know that being selected to take part in the competition is an achievement in itself. But if they can hold their nerve and prove their skill, they could be a step closer to winning a sensational prize. A £10,000 commission to paint celebrated violinist Nicola Benedetti for the Scottish National Portrait Gallery.
And of the 9 artists taking part today, 2 are professional. Adelina Canoli and Sarah Harvey.
Well, usually I do the eyes first.
And today you just thought, I'll just wing it because there's 40 people around. Today's the day.
And 7 are amateur. Sophie Spreadbury, Mish Fernandez, Lucy Bartholomew, Kevin Judge, Liam Dugan, Will Terry, and Lee Roberts.
I had her all in, and then I realised her head would be about that big.
I don't think we've had anyone who's not put the head in before.
While the artists settle in and unpack their equipment, the judges review their original submissions.
So we have 9 self-portraits for you. Let's start, as I always like to start, with a man with a piece of crumpled paper on his head.
It's got this really contemporary feel to it. Actually, for me, the star of the show is the shadow. I mean, that is like a double portrait.
It's a strange combination of quite rough paint handling, and then if you look in the eyes and the nostrils and the mouth, there's incredible delicate detail.
It's as if the canvas is almost containing her in that square.
Next on Sky One, we have new detective drama.
I feel like I can see all these faces in her jacket.
Yeah.
Am I going mad?
No, the faces are definitely there, and they're in contrast to that sort of seriousness in the upper section. I love this one. I just like to have it with me like a little companion or a thinking partner.
The oil painting is used like watercolour, so it has this luminous quality which is just magical.
Well, this is arresting.
It is arresting because it has all these sort of contradictions within it.
I think this is one of the most distinctive and compelling self-portraits we've ever had. What on earth are they going to do today?
It seems like a pretty straightforward self-portrait till that veil is actually made out of the natural qualities of the watercolour. So the artist is playing with the material itself.
Yeah, I love the reds and the blues that are dotted across her coat. Beautiful colours. The scale is quite grand here, so I sense a confidence. But is it a self-portrait or is it a young Stephen?
Well,
I just want to tussle the hair with my fingers.
He's far too good-looking to be a young me.
Oh, stop fishing.
Damn. This is hitting my dad buttons.
It feels like an abstract work to me.
I really love this because of the treatment with this quite intense hatching. You're kind of finding the form as you go through.
This last one feels a very frank self-portrait.
Yeah, very frank, very uncompromising, and it's all in that very gentle tilt of the head.
Well, fantastic range of styles and approaches. Can't wait to see what they do today.
Eager to get started, it's time for the artists to meet the celebrity sitters they'll be painting today.
Artists, since winning over viewers as a no-nonsense police officer in Life on Mars, your sitter has gone from strength to strength, tackling everything from comedy to gritty historical drama. It's Philly Glenister.
Hello.
Hello, Phil.
My chair.
This is your home for the day.
I was expecting a bed, Steve.
Oh, really? So you're intending to be fully alert and giving today, is that the plan?
I'll try.
Are you artistic yourself?
Well, I actually trained as a draftsman.
Did you?
I could do quite detailed drawings of buildings and stuff like that, pen and ink.
Well, that'd be interesting then. I am going to leave you in the capable hands of your artists.
Thanks, Dean. How do you want me?
Comfortable. Yeah.
So, I just can't...
Yeah, great.
That's dynamic.
Artist, your sitter is a hugely successful stand-up comedian. He's presented popular satire shows such as The MASH Report and The News Quiz. Please welcome Nish Kumar.
Hello, hi everybody.
Now, stand-up comedians just never stop talking.
Yeah, that's right. I don't normally like a lot of time just with my own thoughts.
Right.
So if at any point I get a real look of existential despair, it's only because I've really started to think about every decision I've ever made in my entire life. And it might be something interesting for the artist to capture.
Yeah, I like existential despair.
There you go.
I'll leave it to them to ask you how to sit.
Perfect. Anyone got any strong opinions?
Shoulders high.
OK. OK, is that good? How does that feel?
Artists, your sitter today not only has her own fashion brand, but she's also a writer, a global style icon, and a muse to designers around the world. It's Alexa Chung. Hello.
How are you?
I'm all right, how are you?
Thanks for the nice intro.
Not at all.
Lovely.
You spend a lot of time, I imagine, thinking about how you present yourself to the world. And of course, the control is very much in the hands of the artist.
I know. It's going to be exciting. I'm quite used to being photographed, and that's usually a bit more collaborative. But it's going to be amazing to sort of relinquish control and see what happens.
Well, your artists are going to pose you, so
Great,
I
yeah.
will leave you to get on with that. Good luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you. OK.
So they say don't cross your legs.
Don't cross my legs.
Don't cross your legs,
OK,
you'll get a dead
difficult.
leg. Might end up with, like, sleeping legs.
OK. God, it's so my instinct to cross them. Is this OK?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Artists, you're as ready as you'll ever be. You have 4 hours to complete your portrait. Good luck to each of you. Your time starts now.
Gosh, you're beautiful.
Thank you.
Can I get one with you smiling? Oh, no teeth? Teeth are really hard.
Today, 4 of the artists are establishing the proportions and features of their sitters using sketches, whilst the rest are finding form more loosely with paint. But this free and easy approach doesn't seem to be working for one artist. How you getting on, Sophie?
Yeah, I'm struggling a bit.
Okay.
Though I don't think my brain's working properly.
Really?
I'm just trying to kind of find a likeness. I still feel not quite grounded in the reality of what's happening.
Amateur artist Sophie Spreadbury lives in London and works as an actor. She took up painting just a year ago, and her self-portrait in oils took 5 hours. I think you're doing a cracking job.
Thank you.
Have you chatted to Phil much during the process?
I think I've been a bit too busy kind of panicking.
I don't want to distract them.
Don't want to distract, right, fair enough. Keep the charisma turned down.
Exactly.
When I start painting, I usually panic for about 10 minutes and then eventually do acrylic base, and then I'll go in maybe a pencil drawing, and then on top of that I'll do oils and just try and make it as kind of descriptive and as colourful as possible.
Liam Dugan grew up in Aberdeen and has previously worked as an interior designer. He now takes portrait commissions via social media and dreams of publishing his own art book.
Your submission is very eccentric. Tell me why.
The long answer is it's inspired by Van Eyck. The other answer is I was just playing around with some paper and put it on my head.
Now, the famous Van Eyck, he has a turban made of red fabric. You are using paper.
Yes, I think there's a great sense of solidity in older style portraits, but I think the way that I actually paint is a bit more contemporary than that.
So, what do you think your main challenge is today?
Maybe getting that likeness within the time. I say that's probably the biggest challenge.
Well, I won't keep you any longer.
Thank you very much.
How a sitter moves can help inform an artist's portrait, so most don't mind a bit of fidgeting, as long as it's done in an orderly manner.
Am I keeping still enough for you?
If I just ask you to keep individual body parts still, then you can wriggle the rest of you.
Lee, is this your second go?
Yeah, I did a quick charcoal just to try and get my eye to understand the proportions.
Yeah.
And I really like the contrast of her wonderful angular legs and then these great big shiny shoes.
She reminds me of a Picasso,
Yeah.
almost. She's got that sort of angularity about her.
It's lovely.
Is that what we're going to see? A beautiful Picasso-esque Lee today?
Yes, no problem.
Lee Roberts is a former art director who returned to painting 5 years ago after being diagnosed with cancer. In her submission, Lee is protected from the world by her oversized coat, with the hidden faces on the sleeves symbolizing her tendency to feel self-conscious.
It's great that you're giving us a full length.
She's just such a wonderful shape. So it might be a bit risky given the time, but I want to get her all in.
How much time are you going to focus on the actual head?
I'm hopefully going to bring out her character through the way she sits.
I'm quite pleased with the background, actually. I mean, it is blue, but there are warm tones. And I think I'll pull out some of, like, the pinks and the mauves and the purples. And then I'll be painting with my hands. It's a nod to Gerhard Richter, just kind of that smearing of the paint and creating, like, a lot of movement. It will be a little bit messy to start with, but it'll start making sense.
Part-time registrar Michelle Fernandez from Lincolnshire is better known to her family and friends as Nish. Preferring not to sketch or grid, she mapped out the face in her self-portrait using her fingers, a technique she's sticking with today.
So is it quite instinctive at this stage, and then you tighten up?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
And this is as important to you, is it, as, I don't know, getting the eyes later?
Yeah,
Why is that?
Colours are really important, and pulling out the colours in his skin tone is really important to me, just the foundations.
Do you see the world in colour?
Yeah, I do, actually. I think colour's so expressive and so emotional.
Yeah, and yet you're wearing all black.
Yeah, that's very common.
The artists are almost an hour into their challenge.
Here you've gone quite large. What was behind your thinking?
I've got a big head.
I feel like I've got a bit of a likeness with a kind of study, I've got a background colour, and then I'll go in with details later. It should be all right, I hope.
I'm happy with her head sitting on her body. I really want people to see Alexa, but also convey the feeling of Alexa.
Nine artists have spent an hour painting sitters Nish Kumar, Philly Glenister and Alexa Chung.
How's it going over there? Are you feeling good about it?
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
I want you to say, oh yeah, this is the best thing I've ever done.
Yeah, this is the best one ever that I've ever done.
Sarah, there's an immense amount of energy coming off you, but wow, Why are you having to work so quickly?
So with my process, I paint wet on wet. So where the paper's wet, I'm adding the colour to it so that it connects with one another, connects with each other.
Yeah, but doesn't that mean that you've got not much control in the way the colour bleeds into...
No, you've got no control. Basically, it's like a guessing game. So part of it is the surprise. Surprise!
Professional artist Sarah Harvey specialised in large format oil paintings before recently switching to watercolours. Her self-portrait shows Sarah wearing a dressing gown, reflecting the exhaustion she felt during the recent national lockdown.
In your submission, you make that veil. And so there's a kind of sense of once you've caught the essence of the person that you then start sort of messing around with it.
Yeah.
Will that happen with today's portrait?
I think possibly. I'm actually mainly an oil painter, and I've always been interested in pulling the painting back and then painting back on and then pulling it back. I don't know quite how it's going to turn out, but we shall see.
8 of today's artists are working with paint, but the Heat's only printmaker is completing the first stage of her process. Lucy, you're on tracing paper. What happens next?
So this is basically like the plan. It's a really important stage, because if my drawing is wrong, then my lino will fail from the offset. And then when I'm carving it out, I've already planned it.
OK.
That part is probably more enjoyable, unless you go wrong because you can't fix it. So that's just a major panic.
Lucy Bartholomew is an art teacher from Maidstone. Her self-portrait was made during her maternity leave and features a brown wash made from that new parent drink of choice, coffee. Your self-portrait made me feel very broody.
Really?
This less so.
It's got a different feel to it.
It's just so evocative. Was a picture taken and then you weren't sort of...
No, I wasn't like carving away at lino with like baby hair.
How are you finding Nish to draw?
Really interesting. He's got a really like good face, good hair as well.
Well, I look forward to seeing that fantastic head leap off the tracing paper into carving mode.
Yeah.
Adelina, do you always start your portraits with the eyes?
Yes, I do, usually from the eyes. It's the strongest feature of the face, I believe.
So a lot of artists leave the eyes till the end because they find them the trickiest.
Oh, I love it. It's my favorite part.
Professional artist Adelina Cannoli moved to the UK from Kosovo 21 years ago. Now living in Leeds, she's painted 2 of the city's Lord Mayors, and her self-portrait in oils took 8 hours to complete.
One of the things we really loved about your self-portrait was that really sort of delicate tilt of the head. It had a tension to it. Here, you could face on. What led you to take that pose?
That's what I see, so that's what I'm drawing.
You're not painting what you see in the background, though. That's very white, a bit like your self-portrait.
I wanted to have a contrast between the skin and the background.
Well, it's a fantastically strong presence already, so well done.
Thank you very much.
In this series, the sets take inspiration from the colours found in nature.
So where do we start today?
We've got the sea. So here with Philip, you've got this beautiful turquoise water. We could be in the Caribbean, maybe. And then on the other side, Nish has got the Atlantic, the big rolling waves. And then Alexa's got the kind of North Sea, the more sludgy green sea. But what's interesting here is that we're looking at colour, and that's helpful for the artist because, of course, these colours in the background inform the way that they put the pictures together.
It is actually affecting the reflections in Philip's skin, for example.
Yeah, and he's a great sitter. He's very still. Yeah. I think he's got a bit of a sore bum already. And Alexa's done this fantastic pose. I think it's very distinctive. I'm really pleased to see that that's coming out in the paintings. Nish has had lots of coffee, full of the old jitters, which is fun. We're getting a bit of energy and character for him.
Lots of blue.
Certainly is.
It's going well. Well, my numb bum is no longer numb because I've got a cushion. Because I'm a delicate little thing.
The mood in the segment is electric. and I keep hearing snatches of conversation that people are having around me, and all I keep hearing is hair, volume, and occasionally nose.
It's actually very relaxing. I'm just pretending that I'm on a long-haul flight, but with terrible service. And zoning out, yeah.
Kevin, is Alexa a good model?
Yeah, if I had the choice, I'd probably paint her, yeah.
Because I know a lot of portrait artists like sort of haggard old men, because it sort of, there's a lot of character in there.
Yeah, I'd prefer to paint Alexa than a haggard old man anyway, so...
I think she'll be pleased to hear that.
Dublin-based Kevin Judge is an art and design graduate who works part-time in retail and likes to make 80s-inspired pop music in his spare time. His self-portrait in oils took 1 month to complete.
Now, in your submission, your language is kind of this weird amalgamation of surrealism and pop.
It's kind of like references to American culture, music. It's kind of meant to be kind of humorous and playful as well. I don't think I'll be able to get that amount of detail today.
Well, look, there's certainly a presence there, and Alexa's emerging, so please continue.
Thanks.
So, Will, there's a lot of dark paint on that canvas.
Yes, well, there's a lot of hair.
Are you going to change the background at all?
I'm not sure whether the blue, because it's so strong and vivid, that it might take away from the actual face itself. I might do a little bit more of his suit, because at the moment he's still a little bit of a floating head, which I'm worried about.
18-year-old Will Terry from Reading is soon to begin studying for a degree in animation. He's currently enjoying a gap year, which allows him time to focus on his painting, as well as his other favourite hobby.
Now, I've noticed that there's a tennis bag down here.
Well, I am a keen tennis player and tennis coach, and I thought, well, I don't really have many large enough bags to take a tripod and all my brushes and paints, so...
I'm sorry we couldn't have a tennis player sitting for you today.
Oh.
Andy Murray would have been good.
Andy Murray would have been amazing. Sorry, Nish, but...
The artists are almost at the halfway point in today's competition, and it's an ideal time to reflect on priorities.
Haven't done much of the face yet. I don't know whether that's important or not. Or, you know.
I'm trying to do the hair. I quite like my work a bit unfinished, but you can't ignore your hair, really.
Probably finding the eyes the trickiest. I mean, I got one right. I'm trying to make the other one as good as that. It's always the hard part.
Today's artists are painting Alexa Chung, Philly Glenister and Nish Kumar.
Is it right if I get close to you? I just need your face for reference to the colours.
Right, OK.
Yeah. It's all just an excuse to get close to you, really, but...
Listen, I've got a natural magnetism.
Well, judges, halfway through, how do we feel about their efforts so far?
I think we've got a great bunch of artists. They're all doing really well.
So we've got Philip being painted by Liam, Adelina and Sophie.
I like the way Liam sort of created this green sort of space within which he's trying to find Philip. It's an interesting way of approaching portraiture.
I'm looking forward to seeing it all come together. It's a bit disparate at the moment.
I think Sophie's really got the light observed really well.
I think she's having a few problems with the likeness, but it's getting there.
The likeness can wait, really, till the end, can't it?
Not necessarily.
Alexa, now she's painted by Sarah, by Lee and by Kevin.
I love Sarah's work. A huge part of her painting is this strange alchemy of colour and shape and form, and at the moment it feels quite literal, and I'd love to see her mess it up a bit.
Is Kevin's painting what we expected?
When you think about Kevin's self-portrait submission and all the weirdness that was in there, we're not getting that at all today, but what we are getting is the same level of obsession with detail.
We've got Nish being painted by Mish, by Lucy, and by Will.
I like the way that Will works. It's one of those paintings which is kind of good-looking from the start.
My only worry with Will is that there's a certain monotoneness to his work, and Nish has got this beautiful suit on which plays beautifully with the blue background. It'd be nice if Will found a way of incorporating them.
Lucy is doing a lino cut.
Lucy's drawing of Nish was so abundant, and now to transfer that into the clean lines of a lino cut is going to be quite an interesting transition to see if she can pull it off.
Difficult to do.
I'm completely with Ty on that.
Do you have favourites yet, any of you?
Always.
And you're never going to tell me, are you?
Never, Joan. Well, it's been fascinating watching the kind of 3 different approaches. I've heard talk of Lee having gone for the full length, so I hope my kneecaps have a gorgeous starring role.
I'm intrigued to see what the finished pictures are going to look like. I might be horrified. Am I allowed to tell them off? Say it's rubbish. I'm sure I won't. I'm sure they're all brilliant.
I'm sort of envious of all 3 of them because I cannot draw or paint for love nor money. Some people really hate my comedy, and I always think, you should see my drawing.
Having transferred her picture of Nish onto the lino, Lucy must carve in the highlights and leave darker areas in relief so they all pick up the ink.
Lucy, how are you doing?
Good, yeah, a little bit stressed.
We have no idea what it's going to look like till the very end. And so if you say you're stressed, we feel stress for you as well. When do you think you're going to get the first print of it?
I need about 20 minutes to do a print, so that's my absolute cut-off point. That's my deadline. That may well happen.
Holy schmoly. OK, well, Lucy, thanks for keeping us all on edge.
Are you happy with where it is?
I've screwed up on the proportions, and I'm really sad that I've had to lose her shoes, because I love those.
Is it like signing your name on a thing and you run out of paper, was it?
No, I had her all in, and then I realised her head would be about that big.
Oh, I see. I don't think we've had anyone who's not put the head in before.
Even if artists like to keep their paintings loose and instinctive, they'll often find ways to draw attention to certain key areas.
Sarah, I feel bad to interrupt you because you're at this critical moment where you're painting in the eyes. It's like about to come to life.
Well, usually I do the eyes first.
And today you just thought, I'll just wing it because there's 40 people around. Today's the day. So with the time that you've got left, it's just the eyes, or are you going to go back to anything else?
No, I tend to work around and around.
So you have no fear of overworking? You feel like you're...
Massive fear.
Oh.
Mish, in your self-portrait, there's a similar blue background from which you emerge. So do you like creating, setting the scene and then the figure appears? Is this how you always work?
Yeah, yeah. I have to have something to work from, I think, for me.
Work from or work against? It's kind of...
Against, maybe, actually. Yeah.
It's rather magical out of this chaos and the noise you created that there is a rather wonderful head coming to the fore. So I'll let you continue.
The artists have just half an hour left to complete their portraits, and Lucy is inking up the lino, ready to attempt her first print.
We love a bit of spoon rubbing. Are we nearly there?
Yeah, so I'm going to just peel back a little bit. See, that's a bit patchy. So what I might do is ink it up again, and the second layer is often a little bit sort of cleaner.
The worst thing that could happen at this point is the shirt. which I haven't started yet. So that's all it is.
I haven't quite gotten her eyes right. Pressure's suddenly started to get there.
The artists are nearing the end of their 4-hour challenge, painting Alexa Chung, Nish Kumar and Philly Glenister.
I feel okay about it. It's just perfecting all the finer details and trying to make sure that the character of the person really comes out. I would ideally like another 10 hours.
Better than the first one. Still a bit patchy. I might have one more go and then just hand in like the best of 3.
Artists, you have 5 minutes to go.
Just injected a bit of late colour. Well, I can't go back. I can only go forward.
I'd love loads more time on it, but yeah, it's a painting.
Artists, your time is up. Please put down your equipment and step away from your portraits.
The moment has finally come for the artists to reveal their completed portraits and for the sitters to choose which one to take home.
Alexa, you survived.
I did.
Do you have any sense of what's waiting for you out there?
No, I'm very excited to see mine.
Right, well, let's not put this off any longer. Artists, could you please turn your easels?
Oh my God! Wow. They're all so different.
Aren't they just?
Yeah. It's bold and it's really striking. And I love just the of green.
Yeah.
I think it's so nice. Fantastic. Thank you so much. I love that the whole dress is in there, my gangly legs. But yeah, it's fantastic. Thank you so much. I love this kind of blindfold situation.
Yeah, the streak
like a
across the
masquerade
eyes.
ball. Fantastic.
Right, well, you have to pick one now.
It's genuinely difficult because they all appeal in different ways, but I think I'm gonna go with Lee. I'm gonna go with this one.
Well on, Lee.
It's over, Nish.
What a day it's been.
I wish I could say that you'd sat still for 4 hours.
I do apologise.
We've enjoyed the wriggles. So now, turn round your easels.
Oh my God. Oh my God, they're great. These are really brilliant. I'm properly, like, blown away. You've made me look like a Bollywood star from the 70s. I really like the fact that the colours of my suit and my skin have sort of bled out into the whole painting. It's really wonderful. The texture is incredible. It does make me look like some long-dead Soviet academic.
Definitely. Definitely.
I think there's a touch of the Bob Dylan there, too.
It's incredible. The colours are incredible. You've caught a real tranquility. It's stunning stuff.
Well, The decision is upon us.
They're all amazing. I just think at this point in my current face's appearance, the texture of my hair is probably the most defining feature. And also, Joan said I look like Bob Dylan. I'm going to pick Lucy.
Artists, can you please turn your easels?
Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Wow.
3 of you.
Yeah.
3 very different takes on
Very different takes. Very different. Gosh.
Aren't you thoughtful?
I'm very thoughtful.
And handsome.
I wouldn't go that far. Well, I look quite serious, didn't I? Wow, thanks, Sophie. Give me highlights in the old hair.
Yeah.
God, I haven't had those in a few years. It's full on. I think you caught my eyes. Amazing.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think I look rather a little melancholic.
Yeah.
In this, but interesting. I look like I'm lost and my thoughts are miles away.
Right, Phil.
Right. They're all brilliant, but I think the one I'm drawn to is Sophie's.
Well done, Sophie.
While the artists compare notes on the experience, the judges get to examine their work more closely.
I'm really pleased that Leah managed to find more of a likeness. I think the positioning of Philip in this canvas is lovely.
There's a kind of shadow of movement as a painting. It's really interesting and mysterious. Adelina's portrait is really arresting.
But it's almost as if there's a smaller Philip inside a larger Philip. She sort of expanded him. I thought the way in which Sophie put Philip in that bottom right-hand corner was really, really effective. But she didn't quite get the face right on that far side, but beautiful passages of paint.
I definitely think that Nish has caught the conviviality of Nish.
I think the energy is really to be applauded, actually.
I think what Lucy's done is extraordinary. She's a printmaker, but she's got a really good understanding of drawing, really fun, loose line, which you're just not used to seeing in this kind of medium.
You've got Che Guevara meets Jesus here. I absolutely love it.
I think Will's very accomplished. There's just a gorgeous golden hue about this painting.
You really get the sense of an aspect of Nish's character emerging through this rather sort of limited tonality and colour range.
Sarah managed to give us something which felt kind of cool and contemporary. That is a beautiful little painting.
I think Sarah's found a way of combining the exactness with this pooling, and it's sort of the whole thing feels very balanced.
There's a kind of essence of Egon Schiele in the way that Lee's dealt with those legs, which I really enjoy.
The head is slightly illustrative, but what she has managed to capture is a sort of, I think, like a really exciting, vigorously painted portrait. I think Kevin's an artist who works purely on his own terms. I really believe in that version of Alexa Chung, and I love that green line around it.
Okay, I'm gonna bring this little one in here.
Before choosing a winning portrait, the judges narrow down the 9 artists to a shortlist of 3.
Something's happening here which I think is kind of interesting. Right? Slipping this one out and getting the other one in.
I'll bring this in.
They look gorgeous together.
I'm really happy with that top 3. I think we've done remarkably well given the quality that we had there.
Artists, you've each produced really impressive work today.
After looking at your portraits, the judges have chosen a short list of 3. The first artist is Sarah Harvey. The second artist is Liam Dugan. The third artist to be shortlisted is Lucy Bartholomew.
I'm feeling really positive. I think it was a brilliant opportunity and so much fun. It's been amazing to work alongside artists that are so talented. Very inspiring, very, very inspiring.
Well, judges, you have to be congratulated on your unpredictability. Watercolour, lino cut and oils in one lineup. That's very exceptional, isn't it?
Yeah, variety is the spice of life.
Sarah gave us another arresting watercolour.
Sarah, she knows where to give you detail, where to leave it loose.
She's got quite a sort of subtly anarchic way of handling colour. You see it in Alexa's hair, those purple tones and the bluey purple on the side.
Did Lucy get a good sitter today for her technique?
Perfect. And I think what Lucy did was turn him into this kind of monumental figure.
And she's not only gone big with both of them, but she's also shown us different ways of using the lino cutter.
I mean, her self-portrait made me broody. Her portrait today makes me itchy. Liam gave us an impressive shadow for his self-portrait. What impressed you about him today?
I think Liam's a very interesting picture maker. It's about making something with a sort of weird tension to it.
I really like Liam's painting, and actually it's really grown on me. And you're seeing it next to his submission. I'm reminded of quite what a confident painter he is.
Right, well, we need a decision. And may God have mercy on your soul. Not to be too dramatic about it or anything.
Sarah, Liam, Lucy, you've done enormously well to get to the short list. However, only one can go forward to the semi-final.
The artists that the judges have selected used their medium in a contemporary way to create a distinctive portrait. And that artist is Sarah Harvey.
Can't believe it. Oh, wow. This means a lot to me. I'm really thrilled.
I think Sarah's portrait is beautiful. The way that she's used the medium is just incredible. It's so unlike anything I've ever seen before.
Sarah's portrait is absolutely stunning. She really deserved to win today. And I'm still just really chuffed to be in the judges' top 3, and it's been a brilliant experience all round.
There's a sense that watercolour is the poor cousin of oil painting, and it's always nice to see a watercolourist who proves that's not true. And Sarah's watercolours do that with absolute conviction. From her self-portrait to Alexa, she was telling different stories, and I want to see what the next story is going to be.
Thank you so much, thank you. For the semi-final, I might just take a few more deep breaths and try and plan my day a little bit better. But yeah, bring it on.